watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.
Next at 6, we're learning more about funeral plans for former President George H.W. Bush, how he will be honored at our nation's capital.
And a look at the tributes to the former president here in Houston. We have team coverage for you next on Channel 2 News at 6.
I'm totally crushing dinner this year, thanks to H-E-B. I got prime rib roast, ham, and even pretty decorations, all at low prices. I took a few shortcuts with H-E-B pies and sides. My mother-in-law will be speechless. It's go time.
Enjoy Christmas like a kid again with H-E-B, where you'll enjoy great prices on everything for your holiday dinner. H-E-B, bring home the holiday magic.
Tonight, remembering our nation's 41st president, George H.W. Bush. His legacy consists of more than just an impressive list of accomplishments and a life of public service. President Bush will be remembered for his love of faith, family, and friends, including political rivals.
President Clinton beat me like a drum back in 1992. And then we became friends. Just because you run against someone does not mean you have to be enemies.
As condolences pour in from around the world, we're learning more about how the former president will be honored here in Houston, the city he called home, and in our nation's capital. From here in Houston to Washington, D.C., Kennebunkport, Maine, we are witnessing tributes tonight in memory of former President George H.W. Bush. Thank you so much for joining us for this special newscast. Tonight we're learning more about funeral plans for the former president.
The White House says after flying from Argentina to Washington, D.C. tonight, Air Force One will head to Houston to bring Mr. Bush back to Washington, D.C. one last time. He will lie in state at the Capitol Rotunda from Monday evening through Wednesday morning. Also, Wednesday has been designated as a national day of mourning by President Donald Trump. And on Thursday, former President Bush will be buried on the grounds of his library at Texas A&M University in College Station. Now, we are awaiting details on funeral plans for the president here in Houston.
Since news of former President Bush's passing broke last night, mourners have left flowers and other tributes outside his home in the Tanglewood area of Houston. That's where Channel 2's Sophia Beausoleil begins our coverage tonight.
Sophia?
The tributes for the 41st president have rolled in all day long. And if you actually take a look behind me, you'll see those beautiful presidential wreaths. Well, earlier, the neighborhood actually changed their Christmas decor to have this. And they also draped an American flag on the gates that lead into the neighborhood that the Bushes have lived in for years.
Just to pay respects to President Bush, his family. Wonderful man, great American.
All day.
What an honor to have him live here.
Houstonians took the time to honor a man who served not only on the front lines, but as our commander-in-chief for 4 years.
He transcended political parties. Whether you were a Democrat or a Republican, everybody loved him.
Behind these gates, former President George H.W. Bush passed away at his longtime home in Tanglewood. From the moment the news spread, neighbors made sure to take the steps to show a sign of appreciation, remember his life of service, and reflect on his legacy.
I think there was more emotion than I figured I would have.
Stephen Grimes served in the Army during the Gulf War. He drove in from San Antonio so he could personally say goodbye to a fellow soldier.
Being in the Army and his history as a Navy war hero, he served his country. I was very modest about it, never talked about it, and so a lot of pride.
And while we will mourn the loss of the 41st president, we will always remember that he was a family man and most notably, a loving husband.
I prayed and I thought, you know, it wouldn't be the same without 41. But he's reunited with Barbara.
And we've been hearing that from people all day long. Now, earlier I did speak with a representative from the family, and they appreciate everyone's well wishes, but they're also asking people to drop off their mementos like flowers and cards at the George H.W. Monument, Bush Monument, that is downtown. That's off of Franklin and Bagsby. And they say that they would love to see all of those tributes there as well, too. Reporting live from Tanglewood, Sophia Beausoleil, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Sophia. We are hearing tonight from the rector of St. Martin's Episcopal Church here in Houston, who is with the former president in his final moments.
Our Phil Archer is at St. Martin's, right around the corner where Sophia is, with what the rector shared tonight. Phil?
Well, after a state funeral in Washington. There'll be a second funeral here at St. Martin's, where the First Lady was laid to rest last April. The Bushes were members here for more than 50 years, and the president is remembered here not just for his accomplishments, but also as a friend and neighbor. When Mr. Bush passed away at his home Friday evening, his pastor, Reverend Russell Levinson, was with him.
It was a very peaceful, gentle, lovely, if I can say so, graceful passing from this life to the next. We all knelt and we all prayed and we all gave thanks for his life here and his life that's begun again.
The former president died surrounded by family members as well as his close friends, former Cabinet Secretary James Baker and his wife. George and Barbara Bush attended St. Martin's for more than half a century. Mrs. Bush lay in repose and was eulogized here by Reverend Levinson after her death in April. It will be the same for the former president, beginning with a viewing Wednesday evening and a funeral service on Thursday.
Throughout the night, we'll be open for an opportunity for those who would like to come and be part of the repose.
George H.W. Bush is being remembered tonight around the world as a statesman, a leader in chaotic times that included the Gulf War and the fall of the Soviet Union. But here in Houston, he's also remembered as a good and decent man, a neighbor who, with Mrs. Bush, became a Houstonian by choice, not chance.
They chose to remain part of the fabric of the city of Houston because they truly believed in the city and they believed that they were part of the city, which they were.
The viewing will be held here sometime Wednesday with mourners shuttled in from the Second Baptist Church campus. The times have not been set for that yet. As soon as we have them, we'll pass them along to you. Reporting live in Southwest Houston, I'm Phil Archer, KPRC Channel 2 News.
From libraries to statues, even pizza places, the Bush family has left its mark across Houston.
And we're seeing an outpouring of love and support from Houstonians mourning the loss of our former president.
Channel 2's Brittany Jeffers joins us live downtown now at a monument to President Bush with how our community is remembering him. Brittany?
This afternoon, even into the evening, I've seen people stop by here bringing flowers, cards, and candles. Many of them also just taking a moment to pause, reflect, or even bow their head. They tell us that they wanted to be here in this space to pay their respects.
He was an iconic figure in the community.
A man who once walked the halls of the White House forever holds the hearts of Texans.
I admired his service to the country in many different forms.
Today, people from all walks of life paid tribute to George H.W. Bush, who was many things to many people.
We will know him as the husband, the father, the grandfather, the champion of our city.
At Fuzzy's Pizza,
we named this pizza after him, pepperoni, Italian sausage, Canadian bacon.
The president was more than a patron, he was a regular.
He served this country very well. He served Houston very well. He was very nice public figure, and he was down-to-earth person.
Now, with flowers at the feet of his statue, many say his legacy reaches far beyond his presidency.
Of faith and family and service.
What I do know is that when you look up into the sky tonight, there's a star up there that's shining very, very bright. Okay, that's 41.
And you can see the memorial starting to grow out here this evening, and we've also learned about the public tribute that's going to be taking place later at the beginning of the week, rather, in honor of the president. That will be at Herman Square in front of City Hall. That will be at 7 o'clock on Monday evening. Live here tonight in downtown Houston, Brittany Jeffers, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Brittany. Tonight, a vigil is going to take place at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library Center at Texas A&M.
Mourners have spent the day visiting that library and museum to pay their respects. Our Mario Diaz, live in College Station to show us how the Aggie community is remembering him. Mario?
Bill, Dominique, this library means so much for the communities of College Station and Bryan. So today we saw a steady stream of mourners come in here and pay their respects to the 41st president. As a new day rose, the flags at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum were set at a mark for reflection.
The world's going to miss him. Kevin's gained a great gentleman.
Today was the day the museum spent years preparing for.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your day.
Right.
Extending hours and making over the entrance of the Grand Rotunda to highlight the man that has meant so much for this nation.
He's done so much for our country, and so he deserves all the honor and respect we can give him.
The museum captures the life of Bush as a ball player, World War II veteran, husband, father, and president. However, the grounds have captured the young minds of students for years at the Bush School.
Got to meet him and have a class picture with him.
Clint Hasselbeck is an alumni of the Bush School. In town for a family wedding, he came back to remember and to pay his respects to a man whose life taught him so much.
My whole education process there was learning about character, critical thinking, and commitment to service, regardless of what you did as your career.
For Glenda Sivert, this was about thanking a man she admired, a man many admired.
A great president, it's hard to come by. A great man. And I feel really bad for his family.
Any loss is difficult for any family, but think about the Bush family for a moment. Tonight, they are remembering the patriarch. It was just this past spring that they lost their matriarch, the former First Lady. And speaking of Barbara Bush, this bouquet of roses has been here all day long. Very nice message within the note here. It says, "Give Barbara a kiss for us." That's what the family wrote to the former president. If you plan on coming up here, let me give you some of the hours, what we're going to be looking at here for the next week. Extended hours until December the 9th, with the exception of 3 pivotal days: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the days that the museum will be completely shut down and closed. However, all of those days before and after will be open with extended hours, and admission is free. Reporting live in College Station, Mario Diaz, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Mario. President Trump is in Argentina right now, attending the G20 summit. Today, he spoke about the passing of former President George H.W. Bush.
He was a very fine man. I met him on numerous occasions. He was just a high-quality man who truly loved his family. One thing that came through loud and clear, he was very proud of his family and very much loved his family. So he was a terrific guy, and he'll be missed, and he led a full life and a very exemplary life, too, I will say.
President Trump also said he spoke with former President George W. Bush and with his brother Jeb to offer his condolences on the passing of their dad. President Trump also announced today that he and First Lady Melania Trump will attend the state funeral for President Bush that is in our nation's capital next week.
Channel 2's Jacob Rascone continues our coverage live in Washington now, where he's been reaching out to lawmakers from the Houston area. Jacob?
Dominique and Bill, it has been more than 10 years since Americans mourned the death of a president in a state funeral. These are massive events full of ceremony and tradition, and that lasts several days. And among the politicians that will take part are our Texas senators who have released statements. First, let's start with Senator Ted Cruz. He said in part, he will be remembered as a good and faithful servant to his country, whose legacy of leadership and love of homeland became a family tradition, earned him the admiration of countless Americans, and secured him a special place in the heart of every Texan. And now Senator Cornyn. President Bush once said, "I am a Texan and an American. What more could a man ask?" I don't think anyone could have said it better. His uncompromising service to Texas and this nation can never be duplicated or fully quantified. We also sat down today with Congresswoman-elect Lizzie Fletcher, who happens to hold the seat, or will hold the seat, that President George H.W. Bush once held.
For me, growing up in Houston, of course, they were a fixture, and we had a special connection because my dad's also from Midland. But growing up, we went to the same church, and so I remember being a child when then Vice President Bush would come home from Washington and would sometimes be at our church services. And just knowing that their example throughout our community really resonated for standing up for our community, for being engaged, for being civic-minded.
So after his body is flown to Washington, D.C. from Houston, he will lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda from Monday to Wednesday morning, followed by a funeral service here at the Washington National Cathedral. We'll be here to cover it all. Reporting live from Washington, D.C., Jacob Rascone. Bill and Dominique, back to you.
Thank you, Jacob. Meanwhile, several of former President Bush's relatives are now taking to social media to remember him. They include one of his granddaughters, Jenna Bush Hager. She posted a photo of herself with her twin sister, Barbara, and their grandfather. Jenna also posted a cartoon that's gone viral, as you know. It shows the former president's wife, Barbara, and their late daughter, Robin, greeting him as he entered heaven. Barbara says, "We waited for you." You can read Jenna's emotional response to that cartoon on our website at click2houston.com.
Our special coverage this Saturday night of the life of former President George H.W. Bush continues in just a moment.
As we head to break, paying tribute to Mr. Bush's wacky sock collection. Tonight at their concert, members of the Houston Symphony will wear fun socks to honor him. We'll be right back.
Buddig is proud to be there on the first day and to provide some nourishment on the long days. We help celebrate the happiest day and bring a little comfort to the day you always knew would come. To all the meal makers, Buddig Lunch Meats would just like to say thank you. Buddig, making more than a sandwich for 75 years.
At our table, wishes do come true. Sparks can fly at any moment.
Ooh, I gotta try that.
Sharing is a must. And big moments get celebrated.
We're all so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because at BJ's, there's a moment on every plate and a memory at every table.
Now at BJ's, get $5 select appetizers. Visit bjsrestaurants.com for offers.
For tile, wood, and stone, come to the nationwide low price leader, Floor & Decor.
The prices are the lowest you will find.
Not only did we find lots of options, we were like, oh my gosh, it's so affordable.
It's affordable no matter what your budget.
I saved a lot of money at Floor & Decor. We came in under budget.
Way under budget.
It's way under budget, yeah.
It's really the best pricing.
You're getting an incredible product for an amazing price.
Why wouldn't you want to save money and make your house look great?
I love to save money. Who doesn't like to save money?
Floor & Decor. You have to see it to believe it.
Welcome back now to our coverage as we remember the life and legacy of former President George H.W. Bush. He enjoyed spending his summers in Kennebunkport, Maine, and members of that community remember him fondly.
Channel 2's Robert Arnold traveled to Maine today. He joins us live with how the former president is being honored there. Robert?
This is one of those towns that has a lot of historical sites. This is one of them, the Knott House. And a lot of these sites were supported through the philanthropy of President Bush and his family. Inside here, there's a lot of little glimpses into the president's time in office, like these envelopes that were printed when he was inaugurated. This town has always been so proud to say that it was the home of what was once known as the Summer White House. Now you have flowers, wreaths, and messages of admiration placed in front of the so-called Anchor to Windward across from the Bush family home on Walker's Point. The president always referred to Kennebunkport as his anchor to windward because this was a place where he found real peace and could always recenter himself for the challenges that lay ahead. He came here every summer of his life except during the war. Now, before he passed, we got a chance to spend some time with those who knew President Bush and his family well. Kirsten Camp is the executive director of the Historical Society here, and she tells us what always struck her the most about President Bush is that even though he was a man of incredible accomplishment, he was also incredibly humble.
He makes you feel special when you're in the room. And that is a remarkable trait to have, and something that we really don't see very much anymore. People like to talk about themselves and their accomplishments. President Bush has never, ever been that way. He has left a remarkable path in Kennebunkport that nobody can fill.
Coming up tonight at 10, we're going to go into more detail about why Kennebunkport was such an integral part of our 41st president's life. Reporting live from Kennebunkport, Maine, Robert Arnold, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Robert. We have more in-depth coverage on former President Bush at click2houston.com.
You can view photos of Mr. Bush over the years, read reaction from across the world, and so much more. It's all there for you on the homepage. And we'll be right back.
Texans Game Day on Channel 2, presented by EVA Air. It's your source for an in-depth look at the team and its players from people who know them best. One-on-one with head coach Bill O'Brien on Texans Game Day, Sundays on Channel 2.
I'm Alan Stanton with Stanton Meats in Alvin, Texas. For a lot of families, it's hard to make ends meet. Our value freezer packages features 30 pounds of quality meat for only $60. Go to our website for more information. Stanton Meats, you can taste the difference.
People with type 2 diabetes are excited about the potential of once-weekly Ozempic. In a study with Ozempic, a majority of adults lowered their blood sugar and reached an A1C of less than 7 and maintained it.
Under 7?
And you may lose weight. In the same one-year study, adults lost on average up to 12 pounds.
Up to 12 pounds?
A 2-year study showed that Ozempic does not increase the risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, or death.
No increased risk?
Ozempic should not be the first medicine for treating diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase the risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
I discovered the potential with Ozempic.
Ask your healthcare provider if Ozempic is right for you.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's check out your weather forecast if you're headed out and about this Saturday evening. Front came through. That was nice and certainly really warmed us up into the upper 70s to low 80s. We're in the mid 60s out there right now. Calm winds, almost clear skies, so we're going to cool off a little quicker tonight. We're already in the 50s in Cleveland and Conroe. Still 70 down at Hobby, mid 60s as you get to Galveston, low 70s out towards Brenham. But the winds generally calm, but notice they're taking a bit of a southwesterly push, and so that should keep more of a dry air mass in there as well. Our exact track's all quiet when that front moved on through, but things have been very busy. There is the front now, drenching its way across portions of the Panhandle. You can see all the snow there on the backside of that. Of course, right across central Illinois, they've had a number of tornadoes that have touched down today. So for us, pretty quiet forecast. Let's run the numbers here as we go through the rest of the evening. About 10 o'clock, low 60s, maybe a light jacket if you headed out. And then as we go overnight, we'll see those temperatures dip down into the mid to low 50s starting off tomorrow morning, and then a quick jump back up as we head in towards the mid 70s tomorrow and upper 60s. So a good looking forecast. Here comes our next front on Monday. That one falls apart. This area of high pressure brings in a cooler forecast. That'll put us more wintry like weather. Once that scoots eastward by Thursday, all eyes are going to be watching this next storm system starting to move its way in. Look at the heavy rain potential that could be Friday night into Saturday. That's something we'll have to keep a very close watch on for a potential for some concerns as we head in towards the end of next week. So 70s tomorrow, 60s, 50s, wintry weather, and then as we go in towards next weekend, we'll watch for some heavy rain both Friday night and Saturday, and then back into the 50s again by next weekend. We'll have more after this.
What has lasted 5,000 years was once almost lost. Now, the world awaits. The Divine Culture's return. Shenyun. Coming to Jones Hall, December 26th through January 16th. Tickets at shenyun.com/Houston or call 800-380-8165.
You know when you're at Ross and the holiday spirit just hits you? Yes. Or when you get the best deal on a treat for your best friend?
Oh, yeah.
Or when you score a magical gift at an unbelievable price? Yes! Oh, yeah. That's yes for less. Ross has you and your list covered with gifts you'll love to give. And it feels even better when you find them for less at Ross. Yes for less.
Toyota-thon's on. Look at all those Toyotas.
Bet you could get a great deal in there.
Yeah, we should go check it out.
Impressive.
Sometimes you just have to snap them out of it a little bit.
Toyotathon is on. Right now, get $3,000 customer cash, or qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the adventurous 2018 RAV4.
'Tis the season. Toyotathon is on.
Toyota, let's go places.
Here's the deal. I don't know about your family, but in mine, spreading holiday cheer comes down to one thing. Food. Delicious, mouth-watering food. Because it doesn't matter what you put under that tree or stuff into those stockings. They're still going to ask you, what's for dinner? Meet your new holiday tradition, Church's Holideals. 12 pieces of chicken or 12 honey butter biscuit tenders with 2 large sides for only $15. A full plate of your family's choosing? That's the gift worth giving. And just only $15? That's our gift to you. Here's the deal, only at Church's.
This year, we did our holiday shopping without leaving this porch, thanks to H-E-B Delivery.
Real game changer.
We could order food for Christmas dinner, new cookware, and even gifts for the grandkids, all online.
Which is nice, because I don't like driving much anymore.
No one likes you driving. There's our delivery. It's my spiral ham.
Enjoy Christmas like a kid again with H-E-B, where shopping is easier with delivery and curbside pickup. H-E-B, bring home the holiday magic.
Welcome back. A very exciting night for the University of Houston and Kelvin Sampson's Cougars hosting 18th ranked Oregon tonight on ESPN2, and they are doing it in a new and beautiful venue. Adam Wexler is live there now from the Fertitta Center. Wex, how's it looking?
It looks unbelievable. About 90 minutes from tip-off here. A unbelievable transformation in this building, once known as Hofheinz, but all the bells and whistles of a brand new arena and a basketball team ready to make it a true home court advantage.
I mean, you got to admit, I mean, we ended up with really a great facility. We're just really proud of it. I mean, it's, you know, we're going to be going to the NCAA tournament every year, and we need a facility like this.
It bears that man's name, Tillman Fertitta, about 7,100 strong, a sellout tonight here at the Fertitta Center for Oregon. Adam Wexler, KPRC, Channel 2 Sports.
All right, thank you, Wex. The Big 12 championship, OU looking for redemption over Texas from that Red River showdown. Third quarter, Sam Ehlinger hooking up with Lil Jordan Humphrey to tie it at 27. But after a field goal, Texas' last shot is blown right here by Trey Brown on the corner blitz. The safety makes it 32-27. Then Kyler Murray seals the deal with this, a perfect pass to Grant Calcaterra. Sooners win their third straight conference title. As for high school, the defending state champs from Cy-Fair taking on Atascocita. This is the first quarter. Ryan Nelib with the quarterback keeper, and look, his helmet even comes off with the Bobcats up there after one, and the Eagles put up 17, but it is Cy-Fair that comes away with the 41-38 win, so they're going to face North Shore in the regional final.
Okay, thanks, Lainey.
Thanks, Lainey.
We'll be right back.
Why play anywhere else? Golden Nugget Lake Charles, a 2-hour drive from Houston.
Budig is proud to have been there from the first day to graduation day. And we just want to say thank you. Budig, making more than a sandwich for 75 years.
This year, you cracked the code. You've outsmarted the smartest. You used the Conslow Payment Finder tool to find the lowest payment tailored to you. To get something for them, something for you, something stainless, something cool. You can make it happen at Cons Home Plus because we work for you. Whether you have good credit to no credit, you can splurge on more big holiday deals with small holiday payments. You got this.
The holidays are almost here. Let Carpet Giant get your home ready. Whether it's luxurious carpet, rich hardwood flooring, or waterproof vinyl plank, we'll help find the perfect floor just for you. Come see the big guy, Carpet Giant.
Hi, could you help me choose a gift for my mom? Do these scream midlife crisis? Would I have to get a small dog for her too? Ooh. But is it too looky-looky? Chic, no?
Oui. And everything's up to 65% off.
Great. She can have it all. Well, almost all.
Your favorite fashion brands up to 65% off. Houston Premium Outlets. Shop more for less.
At the Amish Craftsman, you don't have to settle. Your forever furniture is created just for you based on your choices.
There are lots of Amish furniture builders out there. We've handpicked the best of the best for you. We invite you to visit us and see timeless designs and true craftsmanship.
Amish Furniture is all we do. Our sales professionals are here to help you every step of the way.
Come visit us at 5555 Washington Avenue and let us help you create your forever furniture.
I'm a man with an epic beard and a flannel that smells like sawdust. I like wings so hot my fingers burn. Craft beer that'll bring an average man to his knees. An artisan pizza, handcrafted by the gods. This is my kind of place. What's up?
You got a...
Where?
It's like a big...
There's a story at every table. Share yours at BJ's.
I don't want to touch it.
Now at BJ's, get $5 select appetizers. Visit bjsrestaurants.com for offer.
As a working mom, I need after-school snacks to be easy. So a quick snack with Budig Original is the perfect protein pick-me-up. And it gives us more time together, because they're only little for a little while.
Budig, make more than a sandwich.
That's our newscast for now. Thank you for watching.
We want to let you know that we will have more coverage on former President George H.W. Bush at click2houston.com, and then we will all see you again tonight at 10 o'clock.